Hello everyone, today I'm here to review this small box card game. This is Mindbug Beyond Evolution. Now, what is this? It's a standalone card game for 2 players, but also can be used as an expansion for the original Mindbug. Now, I was a big fan of Mindbug, so does this take it beyond to the next level? Well, let's roughly talk about how the game plays if you've not played the original, and then I'll come on to my thoughts about this version of the game. Just be aware that this is a preview deck, so there might be a couple of tweaks, and it was provided to me by the publisher for this review preview thing. Mindbug is one of those games where you are trying to play creatures, activate them, and effectively hit your opponent down to 0 life points. They're going to start with 3 and 5 creatures in hand and a 5 card deck, so 10 cards in total. Now the twists start right there. At the start of the game you're going to shuffle the 1 box of cards, you're going to shuffle them all out and deal 10 to each player. So no need to craft your own deck or bring your own box, it's all from that 1. Now you're going to use some of the leftover cards from the deck as health, so you've got 3 health each, and each of you are going to take 2 Mindbug cards. On your turn you're going to do one of 2 things. Play a card or activate and use one of your creatures you've already played and is in front of you. Now this is the best part of Mindbug. When you play a card, your opponent, if they have any Mindbugs left, you start with 2, they have the chance to effectively play one of their Mindbugs and say, I'm taking that, and effectively playing it against you. Now this means your opponent can have a really powerful deck, but you can use some of their cards. You can basically take 2 of what you think are their best cards off them. Now obviously you don't know what else is in their hands, so you don't know if something better is coming up, but if something's going to be really bad for you, or you think it could be really good for you, you play your Mindbug and effectively take that creature and play it for yourself. They then get the next turn, but you've hopefully stopped part of their plan to win. You are then, on another turn, maybe instead of playing a card, you are activating one of your creatures. If they don't block, you're attacking their health pool, and it starts at 3. If it hits 0, they lose. Now, you can obviously choose to block. There's some technicalities there because a sneaky card can only be blocked by another sneaky card and different things like that. Some keywords, but not too many of them for you to get. There's only really 5 for you to really understand, and that's how the game plays. You're trying to play some cool creatures. Some have play abilities, some will activate when you activate, some will when you fight with them, some even when they're defeated will trigger an ability. Maybe if it's killed it will give you health back. That's pretty cool because it means your opponent's attacked you, you've lost, but gained something from it as well. That should hopefully give you a good understanding of Mindbug. The evolution twist, Beyond Evolution, sort of introduces this, are cards that can evolve. Now there's 4 of them in the deck, which means there's 4 cards that you're not going to shuffle into the main deck in this one. They're put off at the side. They're the evolutions. They're double-sided, so it's really easy to remove them from the deck if you accidentally shuffle them in. So these cards may or may not be in your hand, but if they are, it'll have a little number 1 in the top corner. When you play it, that's fine, but it's got an activate ability. So instead of playing a card, you're going to activate that creature, and instead of attacking with it, you're going to do something. Well, it might still take out an enemy creature, but it's all about evolving. You take that card away, you bring in the card that was put off at the side, that is the evolution stage 2. They've all got stage 1, 2 and 3, getting better in terms of their power level, but also the ability when you activate them. Now, there's pretty much the best time to talk about those. They are a really awesome addition. It definitely reminds me of like Pokemon with things evolving, but this is mid-battle, this is mid-game. You're sort of evolving them. Now it does take you a few turns. to get it from 1 to 3, you've got to activate the level 1, then activate the level 2. Your opponent might have a way to just get rid of that card. Maybe they have a hunter ability which allows them to choose what you're blocking with that can just take it out. But if they don't, it sort of levels up and becomes that level 3, that really strong version of the card. But remember, with Mindbug there is always a way to beat that. First of all, when they're playing that card, you could have Mindbugged it and played it for yourself. But there's also many different card effects. Yes, it's getting a higher and higher power level, but some cards will just straight away kill, when played, a creature that is above, say, 7 power, just outright when you play it. That can take out a level 3 fully evolved card. So you think, oh, that's a bit of a waste. But if you're doing that, your opponent could Mindbug it, could not, and it just builds on those level of choices around that Mindbug card. And when you're run out of them and your opponent's doing that, it does feel a bit bad that you can't do anything to stop it. But it's still taking them time, remember. And in this, time is always fighting against you, because it could mean your opponent is playing some good cards or whittling down your health. As I suggested, there are 4 included in the Beyond Evolution box, which means there's 4 cards not being shuffled in. I think that's a good number. However, I kind of almost want more of them. Yes, it would mean that there's a much smaller deck, so you're not really able to maybe call it a standalone, and it's just an expansion to the original Mindbug. But it's such a cool system. I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy it, and it doesn't always show up. There's many times when you shuffle that deck that maybe those 4 cards just aren't in either player's hand. Or maybe it's at the bottom of your deck and you never quite get there. So the cool, not gimmick, but the cool twist of Beyond Evolution doesn't always come out. In fact, you can play multiple games in a row, 2, 3, and still haven't seen one. Maybe your opponent hasn't even seen one either. Now, it would be a twist. You could maybe make sure that once you've sort of got the 20 cards, that you shuffle 2 of the evolutions in, taking 2 of the normal cards out to guarantee that there's maybe 1 for each player in there somewhere. But that goes against Mindbug of just shuffle the whole deck and see what comes out. Because if you then know that what's something in the deck, that does start to take away from sort of the Mindbug experience, which is, that seems a really good card. Do I want my opponent to have it? If you know, they might have something better because they're going to have one of those evolutions, you might start holding on to it with that knowledge. And not knowing what your opponent's got is part of the fun of Mindbug. Yes, it's got that sort of lucky aspect thing. They could have really good cards in their deck, but if they keep getting good card, start Mindbugging them and get those good cards played for yourself. And the Mindbug is that brilliant balance, regardless of in this version, Beyond Evolution, or in the original. It doesn't matter if your deck's awful, their deck's amazing. In fact, that's quite good for you, because they're only going to be able to take bad creatures from you. And actually, no card in the deck is bad. They're just situational. All of a sudden, one card that at the start of the game in your hand looked awful, maybe it defeats creatures of power level 3 or lower. Well, that's pretty poor, but my opponent's got 3 creatures out and they're all 3 or lower. All of a sudden, that card's really good. Will they let you? Will it get through, or will they Mindbug it? That's, again, it all comes back to that. So, this version really does carry on the greatness of Mindbug. And it doesn't really amp the game up too much. I'm often afraid when an expansion or a sort of standalone game / expansion like this comes out. Because often, it certainly happened with Keyforge, a new range comes out, and there's a load more keywords. Okay, that's great if you're playing the game a lot, but if you just want to quickly pick it up, well, you can do that with 5 minutes. You can teach someone else to play Mindbug and go. It's really that quick. You don't have to explain tons of keywords. There's the 5 main keywords of like tough, you can basically be defeated twice before that card's removed. Frenzy is attack twice. They're really easy to remember, and you've even got a reference card, which is fantastic. One for each player, so it can sit there in front of you if there's a new player involved. And really, the only new things that have been sort of introduced in the deck is that word evolve. And it's pretty obvious what it does because it's sort of the new thing. But even for brand new players, it's like 6 keywords is all you need to know. Yes, some people would love it to be written on the cards, and for your first game it would have helped. But once you've played a game, those keywords are easy enough for you to pick up, and there's not another 5 new ones been added by this deck, which I really love because you can play it with new players, you can shuffle it in, you can come back to it after a little while of not playing, and you'll be able to pick the game up and play again straight away. As with the original Mindbug, the creatures are fantastic. Effectively, they take 2 things that shouldn't be anything like each other and cram them together. Let's give you an example. My favourite one that's in the deck is the Turtle Toaster, and it's effectively like a turtle firing out of the back of its shell bits of toast at the enemy. Regardless of its strength, its ability, I want to play that card every time because it's just amazing. Throw in the cheeky Chimp Borg and all of the other cards that are in the deck, and there's just some amazing names, some amazing inventions of animals, and there's some pretty cool powers that really make you think, is this a good thing to use? Because it could backfire if my opponent takes it off me with that Mindbug. So yeah, Mindbug Beyond Evolution. I really love Mindbug, and I do think this basically carries on the brilliance of the quick gameplay, that really great choice of, is that good enough for me to take off you, or should I let it through? When am I attacking? Not too many keywords, but just enough to give some cool powers. And I really do like those evolution cards that level up. They add to the choice of, should I let you have it? Am I going to be able to take it out? And they don't feel overpowered. So if only one player gets it, those other situational powers of, oh, well, you've not got any cards of power level 7 or higher, all of a sudden they might do in a minute if they start doing the evolution sort of that one. So great little twist. Like I said, it would be cool if there was more of them and this was more of an expansion. But for the fact that a new person can come in, pick this deck up, have a lot of fun, or mash it up with the original box like I've been, there's a lot of fun to be had in this very small, very portable card game. So definitely check out Mindbug Beyond Evolution or the original. There's even another box. I'm not entirely sure on the name of that. I'll put it on the screen now, so you can go and check that out. I think that's relatively soon, if not already. There'll be like a late pledge because this was kickstarted. Like I said, this was a preview of this deck. There might be some tweaks and changes, but it carries on the awesomeness of Mindbug, and you should definitely check it out. Had a lot of fun with this one. Until next time, please check out other news, reviews and stuff on the channel. And I'm Oliver East, signing out for Don't Be Bored.